the third video in my sequence on 2.10 experiments, the NCEA Level 2 standard. Today we're looking at recording the data and drawing the graphs. In this particular set of videos, we're looking at paired experiments, so what happens to a participant before and after some sort of treatment. We want to be able to draw a graph that shows the difference or what has been gained or lost because of that treatment. So it's really important that when we are drawing it, we can compare that particular aspect. We need a table of data in order to copy this and to get our graphs. So each participant should have a row in the table, and the columns should represent the two situations before and after the video. Make sure your columns are well named so that you don't have to change them in NZGrapher, which is the graphing function we're going to use to draw these. So we will take our data from the spreadsheet. In this case, I've used a Google spreadsheet. You can see that I've made the participants just initials to keep a little bit of anonymity in it. And I've labelled carefully the two columns, number of items from the first trial and the number of items from the second trial. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste it into my experiment data so that I can see it, so that I can hand it in and whoever's marking can actually see the data. All right. So it's really important that you do copy all of the data. So I didn't then, so I'm going to now go back and copy all of the data, and just using the copy function means that it goes into my clipboard. My next job is, after I've copied that into my assessment, is to draw the graphs. And we're going to be using NZGrapher today. So NZGrapher has two particular graphs that we're interested in showing here. I'm going to first of all copy my data in. So if I go up to here, the data function, I've got my data in the clipboard. And if I import it, I can see that now it is in NZGrapher. So we'll go down here to which graph we're looking at, and we're looking at a paired experiment dot plot and arrows graph, so this part here. The first one we're going to draw, we need to make sure that we have our numerical data, so we've got our number of items from first trial and our number of items from the second trial. All right, the first graph that I'm going to draw is a high box plot. Just to show these things, I need to put a title on my graph, so the difference in memory after a 10-minute break. Try and make sure that your title is something that actually does explain what you have been finding, and also always check for your spelling mistakes. All right, update the graph. So now I've got a good title there. Down the bottom here, I've got the number of items from the second trial minus the number of items from the first trial. So this is the difference gained from the first to the second trial. I want to put my summaries on here as well so that I can see what is happening, and I'm also going to colour by difference so that the red ones are a loss, these ones are a 0, and these ones are a gain. All right, so I can see that I have these particular things happening. Then if I control copy the image, I can paste it into my assessment, and it will go in this differences graph part. So if I paste it into here, make sure I can see it all, then I've got it to be able to talk about. All right, make sure you keep it as big as you can so that you can see it and talk about it. The second graph we're going to be drawing is the arrows graph. So we're going to take this one, take away so we've got our summaries here from the first trial. So the mean of the first trial was 11.93 items. The mean of the second trial was 10.24. All of our information is here. Over here, we can see that we had 4 positive shifts, so a gain. We had 20 negative shifts, so losses, and 5 people who stayed the same. All right, this graph here tells us a lot of information about what has happened over the graph. Don't have to rename anything because it has come up with the title that I gave the first one. So we're going to copy this image and paste it into our assessment. And that gives us our 2 graphs that we're going to talk about in our analysis. All right. Thank you for listening.